Radio.
Hello, welcome to AstroEnergy with Astrologer Angel Shelley Overton. Hello and welcome to the August 28th, 2018 edition of the AstroEnergy Astrology Show. My name is Shelley Overton. I'm an astrologer in Orlando, Florida, and I am very happy to be here with you today. It is overcast a little bit today. We had horrendous rainstorms yesterday, followed by a gorgeous sunset. And today we're going to have rain, and tomorrow, and the next day, and the next day, and the next day. But anyway, we have Mars direct, and that's all that matters. So, exciting news from the astrological front. Mars went direct. Yay! That happened Monday at 10:05 a.m., and the day before we had a full moon at 7:56 a.m. Eastern and 4:56 a.m. Pacific. It was in Pisces. And let me tell you, it was a very drowsy day for me. I mean, I was having a really hard time staying awake. And honestly, right now, I think with N degrees Mars in Capricorn, you're probably feeling a bit exhausted even now. So know that that's kind of a thing. And we're going to be feeling it probably as long as Neptune's in Pisces will be a thing because Neptune rules that dream state. And especially if you have a strong Pisces in your chart, strong Neptune or Pisces connection. I have Neptune in the first house, so whenever Neptune does something, I'm definitely feeling it. So anyway, Mars in direct motion. So I'm going to just explain it a little bit for people who are new and not really familiar with the direct and retrograde motions of the planets. So direct is when the planets go forward and they, by view from Earth, they move forward in orbit. When a planet retrogrades, it means that we, from our perspective on Earth, fly by the planet in orbit and it appears to move behind us, like when passing a car on the road. So when that happens, the planet pulls energy back. And even though it's still moving forward, we're going forward faster. And so the energy doesn't catch us as rapidly. And so what happens is it's a good time to get over things that you've already gone over. And so whenever a planet retrogrades, it means that there is something that we have gone through during the direct motion. And when it retrogrades, we have to go back over it. And so when Mars was retrograde, it was also making us feel a little bit action constipated. So we were doing things, but nothing was happening. It was like the culmination of our actions and activities was not happening. So when that happened, we were getting really frustrated, which is what Mars does. Mars gets really frustrated because it just has to take action. It's part of the nature of Mars. And so when a planet is retrograde, specifically Mars, it's time to get things done that we've already done, put our attention into refining something that we've already taken action on. And that's the timeline that I've done a few things in my own business life, and it helped with what was going on there. And then now Mars is direct. It's at the last 2 degrees of Capricorn, so it's 28 degrees Capricorn in 37 minutes. And it is very close to where Pluto is in America when it was founded. So those of you who listen to the show every week, you hear this probably repetitively because I say it repetitively because new people come and go and people are always learning. And so sometimes when I've said it to you, you know, if you've been a long-time listener, you know this, but if you're a new listener, you don't necessarily know this. And so when our country was founded, Pluto in the sky was at 28 Capricorn. And so right now Mars is on that spot. Mars retrograded to that point from Aquarius. It was already already a few degrees into Aquarius, and it retrograded, and then it went back into Capricorn a week and a half ago. And at that point, well, last week when it went direct, around the weekend when it went direct, we were feeling that culmination between the time it went into Capricorn and when it went direct. It was like all the stuff was going on in our government with Michael Cohen and what's his name? Manafort? I can't remember. Anyway, all this stuff is going on in our government right now because Capricorn rules government on some level. It rules the authoritarian hierarchical structure of government. I say that because Scorpio also has some fingers in the political pie. It's more politics and government, but it's like insurance and more things like that. Whereas Capricorn is more of authority and authoritarian energy and ownership, basically, is what it is. It's ownership of something. So taking responsibility. And so now Mars is right there on that Pluto. We are moving forward with an ending story. It's an end story, which is really, in my view, kind of an initiating ending story, because Mars is somewhat of an initiator. It rules Aries. Aries is the first sign of the zodiac, and we initiate under cardinal signs, which is what Aries is. And Capricorn is also an initiating sign, but being the end degrees, and this is all the symbology. This is the, if you think about how a planet moves through 30 degrees, when it goes in, it's new. When it exits, it's old. It's kind of like when we start a new year, it is the symbol of a baby. And when we end the year and look to a new one, it's the old man with the cane. So that's the symbology that's very good for Capricorn. And so at the end degrees, we are in that old person wrapping up, getting ready to end the story, especially literally in the material world. So what does that mean? Well, Mars went direct, and the night of and into the day, I think it went direct in the morning. I said it. It was 10:05 a.m. And within 12 hours of that, we lost Neil Simon, the playwright, and who was the other person? We lost two male figures. And I would say also, because this is the end degree, we're going to lose probably another one or more, because it is male Mars, male energy, endings. And so look for a few more stories about that in the next week. We've got September 6th as the date that Mars goes back into Aquarius, and that is a new, fresh energy. And it is about clarity of thought and unique things, unusual things, electronics, storms, anything where there is an expansion of concepts and thought. And that's what we will be focusing on. And entrepreneurship, I shouldn't forget that, because Aquarius very strongly is the sign of entrepreneurs. And so we are looking to be independent and autonomous, whereas Capricorn, we are looking to be in a structure of some sort. And so when Mars wraps up its story, and this is really a wrapping up of the story for the next couple of years, because it takes a couple of years to go through all signs and get back to where he is. So definitely in a couple of years, it's going to be a very strong story again, because we have Saturn and Pluto joining up in just over a year in January of 2020. And then Mars will move into that sign again. And I'll just tell you, because I'm kind of curious, and I could be off on my numbers. I don't know why. Maybe not. No, it is. So, yeah, Mars goes back into Capricorn February of 2020. And then, of course, we've got Saturn joining up with Pluto at 22 degrees in January. So it's going to be a very potent February of 2020. So, and it's also, of course, another election year. So you got that going. Anyway, so Mars is very much in this position about old stories. It can even mean things are decaying and moving on in your life. I know I have a friend who I've mentioned a few times. I mentioned her last week. Her birthday was yesterday, and I help her out. She has a restaurant, a little Thai restaurant, and occasionally when she has uh, transits probably, but people coming and going in her restaurant, and she can't cover a shift. She'll ask me, and I'm like, yeah, I'll come down and hang out with you for a few hours. So I was there yesterday on her birthday, and I arrived at noon, and she was late. So she called me and she said that she'd been in a car accident. Some man ran, I think he came from the left, and he ran a light or a stop sign or something, stoplight, and hit her front end and really did some damage on the front end of her car and took off. And she was in a hit and run basically yesterday, and so that was literally, it was within 2 hours of Mars going direct in her chart, and so it was pretty intense energy. But as is true with her Aries nature, she's an Aries rising, she decided to just buy a new car. So she's in the process of doing that instead of repairing it. It's kind of an old car, so she's just going to buy a new used car. But the energy right now around birthdays, I've seen so many. John McCain, thank you. That was the one. John McCain, his birthday is actually tomorrow, and it's 11/11. That's a very interesting coincidence. So make your wish. John McCain's birthday was tomorrow, and he passed away this weekend. So he was very close to his birthday also. And so this year, for some reason, this is a very intense time around birthdays. So I'm not going to lie, mine's coming up soon, and I'm concerned because I know Saturn goes direct 4 days before my birthday. And, everybody right now has been going through a lot. I mentioned this before. I don't know anybody who hasn't had some kind of major event going on. I have a friend whose birthday is 2 weeks after mine in the same year, and her mother's going through her transition in hospice, and she's been battling cancer for a couple of years. I have another friend who has Crohn's disease, and she's got this last couple of weeks, she's had 80 kidney stones that she had to deal with, and that's part of the Crohn's disease thing. So if you have illness, it seems it's more accented right now. It's more intensified. If you have car issues, they're more intensified. If you have money issues, heightened and at peak. So that's what this energy is doing. It's wrapping up an old story around fears and dogma, and that's what Capricorn rules. So Pluto actually exacerbates our fears. And right now Pluto's retrograde, so we're going back over some psychological issues associated with authority, with having credibility in our lives, with feeling like we're not an imposter, or knowing that we can achieve our dreams and have validity in the material world, not only intrinsically, meaning we're good people and have value, but also materialistically, that we are earning the kind of money that we deserve for what we know. So, okay, hello. I hope you're still there. There it is. My computer, I'm just wondering if I accidentally hit the mouse over into the corner and put it to sleep, because it went completely black. It does every so often. And I often wonder, like, did it die? Because I have had that happen on air. I had my computer completely shut down, and probably within the last month, I think that did it. So anyway, just did it again for a brief second. Thankfully, it did not die, and I still have you here. It's a fairly new computer. It's only a year old, so hopefully. But I have to tell you, definitely plays with me when I have a show, because I have some interesting anomalies that go on when I do a show. And like last week, I hit my mute button, and it was muted so I could clear my throat, and I thought I took it off, but apparently I did not. So if you heard last week's show and there was a large section until the hour where there was nothing going on, that was why. So anyway, let's see, getting to the rest of it. So Mars was just retrograded close to Pluto. So the two together, they're 9 degrees apart, and they're in the similar part of the sky. They're not exactly conjunct, and they're not necessarily talking to each other anymore, but they are significantly in a part of the sky that is affecting us as a collective, because Pluto is a slow-moving planet and Mars likes to take action. And what it's doing is Mars is paving the way, so to speak, of what is to come in a couple years when Saturn goes into Aquarius. And Saturn is the planet of structure obviously rules Capricorn, and when it moves out is really when we have this theological shift. And the interesting thing is Saturn will join in January 2020 to Pluto, making that fever pitch, making it much more accented that we have to get, excuse me, we have to get our issues around authority and government together and make some decisions and see the truth for what is, which is what Pluto wants us to do. And then after that, Saturn goes past Pluto and moves on into Aquarius. So after 22 degrees, Saturn will move out to the next degrees, maybe back where I honestly haven't looked at it that closely, but it will. Let's just keep here and see. So it goes, so it goes over, crosses a conjunction with Pluto, and then goes retrograde. Let's see when it retrogrades here. I'm sorry, just kind of looking at retrogrades. It looks like it retrogrades the last day of April. And so then it goes back up to, let's see, 15 degrees. And so it gets all the way to 20, 21, somewhere in there, and then comes back to 15 degrees. Oh, I take it back, it even goes further than that. It goes up to 13 before it goes direct in September of next year. And so then it will cross probably after that in, it's going to be January of 2020 or possibly even February. I don't have ephemeris up here, when it will actually go over a joining of Pluto again. So between 2020, January 2020, and when Pluto goes in 2024, there will be this huge shift around structure, around personal authority, around hierarchy within our government, within our personal lives. And that is a very, very huge 5 years in astrological time. So I'm just giving you a heads up, and I've been doing it probably for a couple of years now. But those of you who are new, that is a time when we are all really having to own up to what it is we want the structure of our lives to be like, and our careers, our life purpose. So many issues all around Capricorn. It is also a time of eating healthier, paying attention to cause and effect, as Capricorn can be kind of the karmic taskmaster of the zodiac. So we have to really look at the material body. We have to look at everything that we deal with in structures, and that can be highway systems. I'm telling you, I'm going through an incredible highway renovation now near my house, and it's kind of interesting because I just finished work and then they started it again on this particular section of road, and now they're widening it to 3 lanes after they just widened it to a certain point, but not all the way, and now they're going back to widen it the rest of the way. And actually, I think making the highway all the way to the coast too, so it's about 35 miles from my house. So they're going to put the highway all the way out to Cocoa Beach. So interesting. And hopefully I will not be here for the end of that, but that's just an aside. Okay, so getting back to the current astrology, I'm looking at the chart right now, and I've got it for 11:01 p.m. in Orlando, which is a 27-degree Libra rising. And that puts Mercury up in the midheaven at 17 Leo. And so Mercury is still at the apex of a finger of God aspect, which means there are 2 planets 60 degrees apart on one side of the sky. And one is actually there's kind of a combination. And this, for our purposes, is Pluto. And of course, ours is right Pluto. But Pluto is one end of this finger of God, opposite Neptune, which is 60 degrees apart at 15 Pisces, and the middle between them at 17 is Leo Mercury. Now, Mercury's going direct, was retrograde until last week, and now Mercury's direct in Leo. So it is kind of like the energies of shift and change and the dream are being expressed out through conversation, through media, anything that's Mercury. So teachers, conversation, radio, podcasts, et cetera, and it's in Leo, so it can be drama, it can be plays, anything that's a creative endeavor, artwork, music, it's expressed out that way. And that's what Mercury wants to do. It wants to express. Leo wants to connect. Leo's a connector. He is a friend maker. He is someone who wants to share his point of view and find others with common ground. And so we are taking these two retrograde planets, Pluto and Neptune, and expressing them out in a very potent. So this is a shift, and I always, I shouldn't probably say it, but when you say finger of God, I'm going to let you guess which finger it is. And that's kind of how I feel. It's kind of like wherever the planet at the center apex of it is, the fulcrum, is usually the one that kind of delivers that little FU. Anyway, Mercury is right there. And so that's kind of where we see this incredible power between the planets coming out, and its illusion and its structure and its authority. And I'll give you one guess as to who's probably going to be more in the spotlight again today. And yes, it would be the president. So that's what we have this week, is this very intense energy. We had the retrograde. The retrograde said, oh, things are going wrong. Things are going bad. We're going to have to go back over them. Now Mercury is direct. We are expressing ourselves. I personally am in a very creative cycle. This is actually in my career house, having Leo, Mercury and Leo. And I do want to express creatively. I have been making macrame bracelets. I've been making earrings. I've been making greeting cards. I've been painting. I've been doing a lot in my astrology. So I've got an app that I'm working on right now with that. I've got a book I'm working on right now, and a rework of my whole website and my identity for that. So look forward to that. It is coming soon. Now that Mars is direct, it will happen very soon. Anyway, Sun in Virgo now. Sun is trining Uranus. So it is about clarity. It is the time of year where we're going back to school. The kids are back in school. Parents are having to deal with kids back in school. And of course, the times we live in, it's always about what's going on with people who might not be taking the best interests of your children at hand. And of course, this past weekend, again, Mars going direct was another acting out in two different places in the country. I can't remember. One of them was farther west, if I'm mistaken. And then, of course, Jacksonville. There was another shooting in Jacksonville because Florida is a very big gun culture, which I never realized until I lived in the country, but it really is. So anyway, yeah, it was, I don't mean to take it lightly. It's a tragedy. And, of course, one of my trigger. So we have this grand trine going on. We have Saturn at 2 degrees, Uranus at 2 degrees, exactly trining. And if you listen to the show, you know that this is a difficult aspect, even though it's considered a positive aspect. It will bring out behaviors and shifts that are associated with putting us more in alignment with where we need to be in our lives. So if something doesn't go well for you right now around career, look closely and see if that's really where you want to be. And then Sun at 5 degrees Virgo. So we've got Uranus, Taurus, Sun at 5 Virgo, and Saturn at Capricorn making a grand trine and bringing us more in alignment with our true nature, nature itself, understanding, structure, pretty much about your sense of self as you relate to monetary systems and material systems and work. Definitely work and career and entrepreneurship are highlighted with these three planets. Sun is a sense of self and your ego. Saturn is your career. And Uranus is your sense of personal power. And are you free to be who you want to be, think how you want to be, and act in that way? Again, Saturn retrograde, Uranus retrograde means that there are issues that are coming up around those things, around career, around autonomy, and you need to take a good look at them. And with Sun in Virgo, it's about learning and teaching and finding your voice, finding how you want to be of service to others, and it can also be health issues. Definitely Uranus in Taurus can be ears. I have had my daughter sick for 2 days. I have felt very off physically. I'm not full-blown sick, but maybe something like a small ear infection and kind of digestive issues, which is also a Virgo thing. So if you're having some kind of intestinal issues right now, that's part of it. Um, let's see. Also, I wanted to say Mercury in Leo is children as well. Don't forget children aspects. And that can be part of an issue. I think probably right now we're going to hear a little bit more about what's going on with the children being taken from their parents for immigration, because Mercury wants to get that out there. It wants to talk and rally about children issues. Venus at 20 Libra, and Venus is the ruler of Libra, and she's also the ruler of Taurus. So Uranus right now gives a nod to Venus. And Venus in Libra means she's looking for cooperation. She's in sextile or 60 degrees away from Mercury. So again, that's a cooperative aspect for finding solutions around the children issue. And then as Venus gets closer to Scorpio, she goes into here, I would say in about 10 days. Let me just look that up real quick for you. She goes in on the 10th. Hey, what do you know? My birthday. So yeah, Venus goes into Scorpio on September 10th, and so 13 days away. And then she will be very much digging her heels in and not giving an inch when it comes to these issues. And I would say probably at that time, the thing I'm getting is that we're going to find out more information about what's going on behind the scenes with the children being taken from families, especially having the sun in Virgo. It is kind of an energy of championing children. Virgo is a teacher. They're the ones that, again, being of service and have commitment. They're really a good parental sign. So having Venus go into Scorpio, which is in positive aspect to Virgo, is going to increase awareness around children issues, but will also mean action is taken because Scorpio is ruled by Pluto, so Venus will answer to that Pluto energy, and it is very intense, strong energy. It's passionate, and it is tenacious. It doesn't give up. So Venus is going to, which is women and sisters and mothers, any females, and women's issues are going to come to the fore and very strongly challenge what's been going on. And also having Venus, I'm not sure if she's going to directly square Mercury, but she's squaring by sign. Let me see. Mercury, September 10th, Mercury will be in Virgo by then. And so I'm just looking where Mars is. So Mars is in late degree Capricorn, about to go into Aquarius. I'm just trying to see. Also, Mars. Where's Mars? Mars in Capricorn, Aquarius. So there will be a square between Venus and Mars coming up, which means women against men or receptive against aggressive. And the difference is that Venus in Scorpio is taking the power of the scorpion and the phoenix, which is rising from the ashes. And to some extent, Venus in Libra is very soft energy. It isn't. It's an energy of cooperation. And so when Venus is in Libra, she doesn't want to fight. She wants everybody to get along. Going into Scorpio, she's definitely going to be ready for a fight. And having Mars go into Aquarius, there is some strong energy around male-female party lines. Party meaning not party, but gender lines, I guess. Gender equality is going to come up, and so we're going to see more issues like that. And then also having Uranus energy with Mars is going to in conjunct Mercury at that time, because Mercury is going into Virgo. So that is 150 degrees apart, and there will be disagreements, to say the least. And probably going to come out in education and medical industries and service industries, but probably mostly in education and health, because that's where Mercury rules Virgo, and so Mercury going into Virgo is just going to accent those two areas even further. And then Mars in Aquarius, it is going to probably bring up for independence around educational systems and healthcare systems. And also keep in mind that Mars in Aquarius is energy around getting the collective on board with something and giving energy to unions and things like that, because it is the collective. That's what its symbology is. So we will see more discussion around unions coming up here in a little bit. And later in the year, the fall of the year, is always kind of that timeline for education and work and everything that's related to Virgo. We see more energy around those issues. Jupiter in Scorpio squaring Mercury right now within a degree. So Jupiter is at 16, Mercury is at 17, just went past it in the last day, I would say. So Mercury, again, communications. Jupiter is wanting to kind of skate by issues, but in Scorpio doesn't necessarily get to. And the combination of Mercury squaring Jupiter can definitely bring not wanting into a deep conversation about something, but also not completely being honest. Again, any planets Leo to Scorpio square is going to bring about potential for fraud or someone who's acting in self-interest. So keep an eye out for that. And also because Jupiter's in Scorpio, it means the information may not come out as readily. That being said, Jupiter is trining Neptune right now by a degree, so Neptune at 15 Pisces, Jupiter at 16 Scorpio. So it is about clarity. Neptune retrograde is more clarity, and I think I'm going over my half hour on this. So yeah, Moon at 29 Pisces will go in, may even already have gone in. Let me just see. Now, it won't get in before the end of the show, but it does go into Aries today, and that happens at 12:35 p.m., so half hour after the show's over. Moon will go into Aries. Aries for the next 2.5 days, again, going to agitate men and more aggressive energy. The moon is about home and family. It can be about mothers, so we're going to see that coming in, and people acting out emotionally. It's a very, very strong time with the energies between cardinal signs, Mars changing signs, Moon going to Mars's home sign of Aries. It's going to be more aggressive male energy this week. And so keep an eye out on that, and probably the whole rest of the week. And the weekend will be a little bit better with Moon going into Taurus and Gemini. I think it'll be a little bit more fun on Sunday this week. So anyway, that's my little eyeball of the planets for this week. I'm going to take a break here, and then we're coming back, and we've got a lot of callers, and not too many. I think we can get to most of them if we keep it succinct. Anyway, we'll take them in after the break. In these days of stress, running around, responsibilities, we all need a little place to go to make it all better. Is that place sports, football, or maybe you like to garden, paint, or just listen to music? Wherever your happy place is, you can find a shirt or mug to reflect that happy place. At myhappyplace.rocks, we have a variety of lifestyle products, including iPhone cases, pajamas, and pet items, all with beautiful, colorful designs, which help us go to our happy place. Stop by on the web for great gift ideas for others and yourself. myhappyplace.rocks. Lenny Pickett appears courtesy of Random Act Records. Check them out at randomactrecords.com. Hello, and welcome back to the AstroEnergy Astrology Show. My name is Shelley Overton. I am an astrologer in Orlando, Florida. And if you would like to get a personal reading with me, I've got a couple different options for a couple different budgets. And you can do that at astrologerangel.com or angeliczodiac.com. So anyway, that's all. Let me get to the callers and see what we have here. Hello. Is this Robert?
That'd be I.
Hi, Robert. How are you today?
I'm great. Great. How about yourself, ma'am?
I'm good. Why am I do this every time too, don't I? I just don't know why I can't. Vaughn. I don't know why
Yes,
I can't
ma'am.
get that. I've got Vaughn in there. So I have to clarify this. Is Robert your last name or your middle name, or what is that?
That's my middle name.
Middle name. That's why. Okay.
Yeah. So when I started wanting the spirit, I started going by Vaughn Robert.
Okay, because I do Robert in my mind because my son's middle name's Robert, my dad's name is Robert, so I call him Robert. I'm taking that out of there so that I don't get confused
and
again.
then we got the same birthdays.
I remember that. That you can't. I won't forget that. Yeah. So yours is coming up, so I bet that's what you want to know about.
No, actually, I got something else.
Oh. Do you have a love interest?
No, actually, it's something. Well, actually, I do, but I got something else more pressing. Something more pressing.
What's up? Sure.
I got fired last week.
Oh my goodness! Congratulations. That's actually
okay. That's what I really want to know. I was like, is it okay for me to feel this good? Feel like I'm
good
fired?
Yeah. So absolutely. Yeah. So that just means that your life is going in the direction it needs to go in, and that's a really good point because what happens is with especially like Capricorn, when something happens in Capricorn, it's like the universe keeps slapping you, trying to get you to pay attention to where you need to be. And if you don't, that's when it goes to the next level. And that's why everybody's been getting these major wake-up calls because they're not following where they need to be. So, yes, congratulations to you.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
So,
good for you.
So that means if it's Capricorn, so that means I should pay attention to the Saturn in my chart, which is in my 6th house retrograded.
Yeah. And yours is in Aries. So it kind of amazes me that, is it 10 degrees? Oh, that's right, because we're years apart. I'm like, how did it get all the way to 10? Yeah, you're 3 years younger than I am. So, but we have the same, September 10th. So, so it's about sales and it could be emergency work, definitely for you. I mean, I don't remember ever talking to you about this. Have you ever thought about getting into EMT work or firefighter or anything like that?
No, none of that nature. No.
Okay. Well, what is it I mean, I know you get into a lot of stuff that I have. I mean, you're really good with astrology. You do the communication stuff. But your Saturn's in the 6th house. That's like teaching, education, and the Aries, it's very much like emergency. Go ahead.
I'm about to launch a new YouTube channel.
Oh, wonderful! Very cool.
Called The Religion of Richest Men.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, and it's
That's
based
different.
on the concepts from the book The Richest Man in Babylon by George S. Clason. What I've been doing while I was at the job. See, the thing about it is, it pushed me out the door for things what I'm about to tell you. By me constantly listening to that book once a week, paying it attention, enjoying it, while I'm quoting, going along with it, while I'm doing what I'm doing, I started putting certain principles into action and started to realize that, right now. And I thought I would be kind of hurt or scared to walk out the door. I felt great because I knew it was coming to an end anyway.
Oh,
I
definitely.
think I was probably going to punk up, but, I just got really pushed in the deep end.
And so you also have Chiron is 3 degrees off of your natal Chiron, and the moon is right on your Chiron today. So what day did they let you go?
Yeah, they did.
Was it this week?
Day.
What day?
A week ago today.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Tonight.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I hope that gave you severance.
Well, no, I filed for unemployment yesterday.
Oh, okay, good.
I actually have a plan of something I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And my major thing was I loved that job, but I wanted my time. I needed the time.
Yeah.
Right now I get up at 5 a.m. right now, happily.
Wow, that's awesome.
It's freedom. I follow a schedule.
Yeah, it's freedom. You also have Mercury in your career house joining up with your Jupiter at 22 Leo, exactly on your Jupiter, which is expansion and fortune. And it's taking so that's a good thing. Today, I would say the next few hours might be a little bit difficult with women. You've got Moon in conjunct your Venus. So women might not be as understanding of where you're at right now in your life.
Right.
So, but Moon, like I said, at 12:30, Moon goes into Aries, and then that's going to start ramping up to that trine with your Leo midheaven or your Leo core energy. So yeah, tomorrow the moon will be right up there with trine to your Mercury, the Mercury transit on your Jupiter. So it can be really good for you. Then home life will be a little bit more cooperative, and the moon will be coming up on your Saturn. So that will really help you get things in the house. And I can't help but tell you, I had a YouTube channel for a couple of years, and right now I mostly use it just to put up archived AstroEnergy shows, but I'm wanting to ramp up on that channel as well more personally, and I can tell you from a few years of watching YouTube, the more you post yourself in video and probably like a vlog, you're going to get a lot of followers. That's how you do it. People want to see the people in the video, and so when you put your own persona in the video, that's when you'll get more and more. So I would encourage you to do that, and I'm pretty sure that you have the confidence to do that.
Well, you know, I'm writing a book too. I actually got some good writing done over the last couple of days, and
there you go.
I was kind of stuck, but I was going, but I kept going. It's good. I got a. As a matter of fact, I got a goal of our birthdays to have the first one done. The name of this book is called 7 Cures for a Lean Purse and the 5 Laws of Gold. These are the 2 concepts that the richest man in Babylon put forward, you know, from the richest man and his son, you know. But it's not just about money. It's about the whole changing of the mindset, the whole person, becoming that person where that success belongs to. But starting it out by, you know, just simply doing this step. You have to do this one step. You have to plant that first seed. And by you doing that, you bring those events in your direction in a favorable manner. But you got to be able to recognize it, though.
Awesome. Well, hearing you talk, what you're saying is actually, and I love when this happens, you're kind of teaching me about astrology as you're talking, because I'm looking at your chart, you're going over this stuff, and this is kind of the intuitive astrology side of it, and that is Saturn in Aries. Aries is a salesperson of the zodiac, and they're the self-promoter. And in your chart, it's in the 6th house. Remember I said that's education or medical industry? Well, what you're doing is Saturn in Aries is you're teaching people how to, you're like a self-help guru. And that's what that Saturn in Aries does, with Jupiter in Leo on the other side in your in the career house, because that puts Leo in the public eye, in the spotlight, and then you have all this Virgo energy in the Aquarius house, so that it's, and people don't understand what I'm talking about. When you have a chart, a natural chart has Aries on the 1st house and Aquarius in the 11th house. So when I say that, I overlay your chart over that particular house. So the Aquarius house is the 11th house. It's the house of people who can through networking around your career, and it's also money from career. And in that house too, you have Leo ruling it, and you have Virgo planets in it also. You have Venus in Leo at 29, and you have Sun at 17 Virgo, and Pluto at 20 Virgo in that house. And it's a house of understanding and communication and promoting things through electronic media like podcasts, radio programs, television, anything where you have a means of reaching the masses of people. And so combining your Saturn and Aries in the house of teaching with your Jupiter and Leo wanting to be in the spotlight, giving something to the public, and your teaching Sun and Pluto, you also have Uranus and Virgo in the 12th house. So you're very much wanting to share the knowledge you have, and that's what you're doing. So that's the nuance of reading your Saturn in Aries. So I want to thank you for bringing that into my awareness as an astrologer. Like, oh, see, okay, I get it. So I love it when that happens. Right. Is there anything else I can help you with?
Oh, what's that love interest thing looking like? I got a date tomorrow.
Okay. So, I'm sorry. I didn't hear that. I have to admit, I didn't hear what you just said.
I said, what's that love interest thing look like? I have
love
a date
interest.
tomorrow.
Okay, sorry. Right now is not particularly with Uranus retrograde in your house of marriage and partnership, and also Neptune's retrograde. It's kind of like a clarity moment for you, and really looking at some of the issues around your personal freedom within relationships, and also where you may project different views of the other person than what they really are.
Right.
Like, fortunately, Neptune retrograde gives you clarity about that person, so you're like, oh no, I can't believe I was fooling myself about this. So you have that. I would say, let me see the one last thing here I've got, and I'm going to have to move on.
Right.
Mars is in your house on family right now, and also interestingly, what you said about last week, that's when Mars was retrograde, moving closer to the cusp of that house, opposite your career house. So there's that trigger again, and this is like an ongoing story for you as long as Pluto's near that cusp and Saturn will go. So for the next 5 years, the career thing and the home life is going to be your primary focus around what I said with Pluto, Saturn joining, because that will happen to you in January of 2019, right on the cusp of home and family for you. And it's in the sign of career. So it is about what are you doing with the home and family, and how does that integrate your career? Like, are you going to be in the home to have the career? And are you going to make the changes and own what you need to do that? That's really what you're working towards. So anyway, I'm looking for when Mars hits your house of romance, and that will help you tremendously. And it's also going to trigger you wanting that freedom very strongly, but also wanting someone who has a really sharp mind. That's November 3rd. Okay, Mars gets right in there on November 3rd. So come November, December, and I've told people this since the beginning of the year on my January 1st show, the end of the year is going to be much easier to take than the beginning and the middle. So the end of the year is when we're moving into a more cooperative energy. Planets are finally moving on into a different energy, and so we're able to finally culminate a lot of stuff that we've been working on throughout the year. So that's what's coming for you. Okay?
Okay.
All right, Vaughn. Well, it's good to talk to you again, and next time I'll actually get your name right. I apologize. And that's the weird thing, because we have the same birthday. I've talked to you for years, and for some reason I just have this mental block. So get rid of that.
Always a pleasure, man.
All right, take care. Good luck.
All right. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, let's take another caller, 917. Hi, 917. Who is this?
Hi, Shelley. It's Siba.
Hi. Let me see if I've got you in here.
Siba,
there you are. I've got you. Yeah.
Okay.
So what can I do for today?
I was just calling. I actually haven't been able to catch you lately, but I was up early for some reason.
Oh, good.
Today. And I was just wondering, I know, right now, I think it's Venus and Pluto squaring, and I've been in this situation where at work especially, a lot of taboo things, or people that are in relationships are hitting on me, especially superiors. And it's just been so weird, and I'm trying to navigate through that, because it's
right.
It's
That's
not
actually
to the point where it's super uncomfortable, because I just got out of a long relationship, and I was actually feeling flattered at first, but now I'm just okay, this is too much.
Yeah. Well, that's Mercury in Leo, which is attention and romance, and honestly, probably a sign. So it would definitely be Mercury, and Mercury is squaring Jupiter. And Jupiter for you is in your house of work. So and you're saying that they're already married, so Mercury and Leo and in your house of home and family, that's where that family energy is coming from. And also, interestingly, when you take the different houses in the zodiac, if you go one house past it, it comes from that house, and one house before it is what's hidden. And Venus in Libra, which is marriage and partnership, in the house of romance, the fifth house, and it would be the subconscious house, or the house that's hidden from your workplace. So that's also kind of contributing on some level, having Venus in Libra right now. So what happens is over the course of the next
and he's
month and a half.
Libra.
Is he? Oh, no. Well, Venus
Yes.
in Libra. And remember, Libra is a sign that likes to triangulate. So they do want partnership, but they also have to have an extra something. It doesn't have to be, I mean, it could be outside. I don't necessarily consider Libra the sign of cheaters per se, but
like flirt.
it does, yeah, they like to know that there's like plan B, so to speak, almost. It's like there's another person waiting in the wings. Yeah. They don't want to be alone. They don't ever want to be alone. And having that Venus in the 12th house to work is definitely bringing in people. And then also the Mercury Leo, because that's where they're going to be flirtatious one, and they're going to put it out there to see what happens. And then, of course,
they're definitely communicating it.
Yeah. So Mercury going into Virgo, like I said, that was coming up soon this week even. Let me see. I want to try and maintain a memory of what I say, but unfortunately, as an intuitive astrologer, when you get into your intuition, things fly out of your brain very rapidly because there's always something coming in. So let me see. Mercury goes in Virgo the beginning of September. Yeah, the 6th. So two things happen this week. Venus goes into Scorpio on the 10th. Mercury goes into Virgo on the 6th, and Saturn's direct on the 6th too. So that's a pretty significant day. So let me see. Saturn's in your house of commitment, coming up your Neptune. That's pretty cool. So the universe is trying to get you to pay attention to what kind of commitments you want. And Saturn is your career and authority figure. So the retrograde, that's probably also helping increase some of this attention you're getting in the workplace, because it is about your career and it's about commitment, and it's the Scorpio house passion. And so when Saturn goes direct, I'm definitely not encouraging you to encourage them, but when Saturn goes direct, there's something coming in about a partnership for you, and it can be something. I mean, I have
a feeling that it's my ex. It doesn't have to be because he's a Capricorn rising. And he is like a Scorpio sun. We have like exact chart 2 degrees below 2.
Yeah.
So I feel like because he's actually been like reaching out, but through a third party, through a mutual friend.
Oh,
and I've blocked all communication because this summer with the Mars retrograde was literally, even though I'm a female and I'm a woman. It's like I resonated a lot with it because I literally took the summer to just worry about myself.
Good for you. That's true.
I was very selfish. Yes. This is like the first summer ever that I've ever been worried about me. Like everything I needed to do. And then the Saturn and Capricorn, like all my like credit things and, car loans. And I just was taking care of whatever I needed to kind of, took away from others because they were spoiled. But
right.
This summer has been just my summer.
Good
so
for you.
I think
totally.
Me blocking everyone out gave me the time to focus because I'm so nurturing and super Cancer. So I'm always taking care of everyone. So this was like my time to take care of me.
Definitely the Mars going into Aquarius is going to punctuate that. Mars Aquarius will, because you've got where Mars is right now is in your 9th house, and that's Sagittarius, and that's probably one of the more I love Sagittarius, but they can be self-interested because that's just the nature of the sign, and so Mars is in that house for you. Plus you also have Moon, Venus in Gemini and a Gemini rising, so that can also be triggered when Mars goes into Aquarius. They'll be trining, and I would say definitely over the next couple months you're going to really accent that need to have your own say, your own ideas, your own space, and be about you. And give yourself the ability to do that. I mean, definitely that has evolved in my mind on how to handle a lot of energy, because especially Gemini and Aquarius, they need to have that freedom of thought, and they need they're very much in the moment, in So they're always seeking out new information, and so the two together trying, you're looking for new interesting things and quickness. It's quick thinking.
Yes.
So, and for you, I would say, especially when Mars goes into Aquarius, it's going to be an opportunity to travel. It's in the house of travel, but there's also an opportunity to do something online because of the technology aspect of Aquarius. So there may be someone coming in you meet online from far away. So that's also a potential for you. Okay?
That's interesting because I did just travel this summer. I mean, it was like a second home. I used to live in Atlanta, but I did reconnect with a lot of like friends and stuff like that. That they made promises to travel. So maybe I might either do the travel or they do the traveling.
Yeah, Mars has been in there for a little bit since it was at 23 degrees. So anyway, Siba, I've got to go. I'm trying to get a lot of questions in today because I never get very many, and I really want to. But I appreciate the call. Thank you so much. Okay, take care.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye. Okay, let's try 914. Hi, 914. How are you?
Hi, good. How are you?
I'm good. Who am I talking to?
My name is Katie.
Katie, is that what I would say Katie or Y?
C.
C. Oh, wow. I don't often. So it's Caty?
Caty.
IY. Oh, that's interesting. Is that short for Caitlin or something?
No, it's a really long Italian name.
Oh, cute. Okay, very cool. Thanks for spelling it because I keep records, like when people call in, I do their birth information. I put into my file for the show. And that way, if they call back again with the same number, I can call them up real quick. So that's why I wanted to know how to spell your name. Anyway, give me your birth information real quick.
6/26/75.
Okay.
And I love your show so far, by the way. Yeah, sorry.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. If you could tell me where you're born and then what time you were born, then my computer might not make a stupid mistake and erase your birth date.
Bronx, New York.
Okay.
And 5:26 p.m.
Okay, 5:26 p.m. Okay, and it did erase it. It wasn't going to cut me any slack. You said 75, right? That's fine. Okay, I didn't mean to cut you off there a second ago. I was just trying to get this taken care of because then I can chit chat. That's usually my task I have to do at the beginning of every show. So I've got a few minutes left. What can I do for you today?
I'm looking for work partnerships. So I don't know if you could tell me, please, when you see one coming or when would be the best day for me to ask people, anything like that. Or give you birthdays of a few people I want to work with. I don't know how it works. Yeah, however.
Okay, I don't have time to go over birthdays today because I literally just have 3 minutes till the end of the show. I'll go over a little bit, but it's like I could always look into that in a private reading if you want to call about that. But partnerships is interesting because Venus right now is in your house of money from career, just about to go out of that, and it's in Libra. So I would say any time in the near future, if you're looking, and let me ask, are you looking for a female partner for business?
I wouldn't be opposed to it, but the people that I have in mind right now are males. But you see a female? Is that why you asked?
Well, yeah, because it's Venus and it's in Libra. So Venus generally signifies female. And then Libra is, even though it's a masculine sign, it's about like partnerships. So that's why I would assign a woman to it. And you also have Saturn in the 8th house in Cancer. And so you've got a couple places in your chart. And I know like you've got some energy in the masculine area, but a lot of like business and career for you is women. And I would say you have Mars in Aries and you have Jupiter in Aries. So there can be some masculine. There is a lot of both in your chart. You kind of split the chart between male and female, honestly. But just because right now Venus is in Libra and you have Saturn in Cancer in a feminine house, I would say that might work better. But I'm not saying you can't do a man. I mean, definitely Mars going into Aquarius is entrepreneurship, and it's the ability to speak kind of more easily. Like men just, I don't know, this is probably getting into sexist stuff, but basically, men tend to just put things out there, and women, I've noticed this, women talk around the subject because, and I've done it myself and I do it myself, but I realized that women are not embraced when they directly approach something, so they go around it to try and explain what they want. I've done that in the past. I notice it in the past. So when Mars goes into Aquarius, it's in your house of communication, so you have the ability to just be more blunt with someone, and that could probably come across better with men. But let's just put it this way. As long as Venus is in Libra, which is a couple weeks, if you're looking to ask someone soon, more feminine energy is there. You may get more reception from men if you use receptive energy, if you're soft in your energy and more feminine in your energy. But if you're looking to get with a man, definitely Mars in Scorpio will be more assertive, and probably it also rules your rising sign, so it can help you with men. So I guess it's not so much you should do one or the other, but just how to approach it. Okay?
And so if you're saying aggressive with men, basically, next couple weeks.
Yeah. Okay. When Mars goes into Aquarius, like I said, in the next week, and not even that, the 6th, that's going to be a time where you're probably going to get along better with men. But for now, Venus and Libra, it's more about using your femininity. Okay? So, but I would say if you're looking for a partner, definitely after the 6th of September, Mars in Aquarius, it's quick thinking, it's in your house of communications. Could I ask what type of field you're looking to have a partner in?
Entertainment.
Okay. Yeah. We haven't talked before, have we?
No.
Okay, I have another caller named Kay, and her chart's kind of similar to yours, and she's also in entertainment. So that's interesting. And I think she was born around the same time. You have Neptune in Sagittarius in the 1st, and so does she. So that's why it's like, whoa, wait a minute, what? Because I'm like, this is so familiar. Yeah, so she kind of does the same thing, and she's also looking for a partnership. So if you want, I don't think she's ever contacted me privately, but if you listen to the show regularly, she calls almost every other week, I would say. So just listen regularly, and you'll hear her because, I think she lives in LA, and she's also getting a film kind of entertainment industry company together, and there might be something there with the two of you. So I will ask her next time she calls to give me some kind of information to contact her. And then if you want to contact me privately, I'll hold on to your information, and maybe I can broker that between the two of you, because you're both similar charts and similar fields. Yeah. Anyway, I don't know if I answered your question, but definitely after the 6th of September will be good.
Really,
Yeah, and Jupiter is about to go into your 1st house as well, and it's really going to take off for you in the next year. So, like your career with the entertainment stuff, and you may have to move to do it, which doesn't surprise me because you got Sagittarius in the 1st house, Neptune and Sag in the 1st house, and Jupiter will be going on your Neptune, which is expanding your dream. Okay.
Oh, I'd love to move. Well, that sounds awesome. Oh, thank you so very much.
You're welcome.
You. Yes.
It was good talking to you.
It's a pleasure to meet you. Yeah.
Oh, you too. And thanks for the kudos. I'll talk to you again. Okay.
Definitely. I love how accurate and specific you are. That's amazing. Thank you.
You're welcome. Take care. Okay. Bye, Katie.
You too. God bless you. Bye-bye.
You too. Bye. Okay, I apologize to those who I haven't gotten to this week, and I really tried to pick it up, but my reading style is pretty pro, so I don't always have the time. Please do call in again next week, and we can talk. And thank you for listening. I will talk to you again next week. Bye. Thanks for stopping by AstroEnergy this week. If you would like to get a hold of Shelley Overton, you can get her at astrologerangel.com, on Facebook at AstroEnergy or Astrologer Angel. The music was provided by Kevin MacLeod at incompetech.com with additional music by Ironwood Rain. Check them out on the net at Ironwood